Hey you guys, I hope you're all doing well. I'm gonna relax and I'm gonna do a channeled message for us today. I don't have anybody specific that I'm channeling. Archangel Raphael has definitely been a big part of my life over the last week and a half. And his happy energy, his lightheartedness, his silliness has definitely been a welcoming experience for me. And I don't often work with Archangel Raphael, so it's a bit of a nice surprise. So I think channeling Archangel Raphael would be a nice gift to give the world today. Something lighthearted, something funny, something to get us smiling. I also did a written blog post with Archangel Raphael and talk a little bit about my relationship with the changing of time over the last, if we look at time over the last 10 years, I think we could definitely put our finger on a time where life just seemed kind of consistent and predictable. If we wanted to plan the next 30 years of our life, it feels like we could do that. But somewhere around 2011, for me, I started noticing that I would go through energy shifts every single month. It would be like, okay, it's August. I didn't really relate to it being moon cycle related, but I started noticing that each month I would be going through a different experience, something new. And if I could just get through this month, next month might be totally different. And sometimes it would last a couple months. Sometimes it would just be month by month by month by month. And it was just, when this started to happen, life has always been kind of difficult. Life has always been challenging. I don't think there's a person on the planet who comes here, whether you have it all or you have nothing, it's hard. Whether you have the perfect life or the shittiest life, it's hard for everybody. And we're going through different levels of fear, of self-judgment, judgment of others, feeling persecuted, feeling like we're not good enough, feeling ugly, feeling confused, feeling alone, feeling a lot of those types of feelings. And I feel strongly that when the energy kind of clenches, because for me, it's been clenchy. It's been clenchy since July. It's been clenchy before that, but I really noticed it really loudly towards the end of July, and really vulnerable, really difficult, and doing a lot of journey work on myself and going through a lot of emotional experiences just in my own way. I wake up, why does my soul feel like it's shaking, it's suffering? Why does my soul feel this way? Why do I feel that way inside myself? I want to live my life today. I want to be happy today. So now today it's not about Abbey, it's about Abbey's soul. And how is Abbey's soul different from my human consciousness? Like, what is going on here? In the midst of life circumstances that are difficult and that are relaxed, and trying to get the time to take some deep breaths to catch up before I feel clenched again. So where it felt like month to month to month, now it feels like day to day to day, and I can't plan what 30 years of my life is going to look like. I definitely know that I'm going to be doing this work, but all the little details of my human life and what helps me to do the work that I do, where am I going to be living? Where, I could move 10 times. I could move 20 times. I could travel all over the world. I could be living in another country. I could be, it's just, but it's all about life stuff, relationships, friendships, the animals in our lives, every little detail, our belongings even. If you move a lot, you start to discover that less is more, and you start to wonder why you have belongings in the first place. Do you have them because they enrich your life? Do they remind you of enriching moments in your life? Do you need those memories in a physical form? What is it that you actually need in order to live the most balanced, the most fruitful, the most freeing lifestyle? And sometimes being completely free isn't, free to just the freedom to just go wherever you please isn't always easy either, because sometimes grounding and stability, having a place you call home, is a really nice feeling. In addition to these deep feelings, these deep perplexing thoughts about the bigger picture of my life, about time, I talk briefly about time in this blog post, and Archangel Raphael, I channel him, and it's just freaking hilarious. He made me laugh so much. I'll put a link to the blog post. I'll pin a note so you guys can read it if you want to. But in addition, I've been noticing really loud explorations about male-female energies. And Archangel Raphael, I think, is a really good spokesperson for sexual diversity, because he's a total guy. I definitely experience him as male, but he has no issues being woman either. And he likes to joke about it. Like, I could see him wearing high heels as a man, you know, and just sporting it and just loving it. And he makes me laugh so much because he's so unpredictable. He's just so silly. But he's male, but he's okay having a feminine side. And it's awesome. It's actually awesome. And I miss that about this world. The angels, the spirits, the consciousness out there is so freaking diverse. Male and female blended. Joan of Arc, male, female, and no gender, you know, genderless. Sometimes you'll get three spirits that are like triplets, and sometimes they work together with three minds, like separate minds, or they blend together as one mind. I mean, there's so many different creative ways that the universe expresses its own consciousness. But here in this world, we have to be male or we have to be female. And sometimes in our own lives, whether we're male or female, we struggle with the male-female within ourselves. And why is it I'm a woman, but I feel like I have to be the man in my own life? You know, or why am I the man and it feels like I have I'm getting that motherly nourishment, and I have to hold myself at night, you know? And so it's like these sort of breaking energetic emotional feelings about our sexual identities. And it's vulnerability. It's lots of vulnerability. And really, we just all want to be loved for who we are. Please don't judge me. I'm trying the best that I can. I'm just trying the best that I can, world. You know? And I think we feel that. And on a really close level, with our close circle of people that we interact with in our lives, that I feel like on a bigger picture level too. What does that mean if society is feeling aspects of this? I feel aspects of this. I know we're all a part of a collective here. I'm not the only one in a collective consciousness. And the energy is asking us these questions. And some of us, we're really honing into this. Others of us, we're freeing ourselves. We're feeling free like we've never felt free before. I'm hearing from people who are getting crushed and crunched with life experiences and how that's affecting them emotionally, and how that's affecting just how do I move forward? I mean, what is that? If we ask the question, how do I move forward? How many emotions are involved with that question? How many thoughts, how many physical feelings are associated? Even the physicality of where I live, all of that. In that one question, where am I going in life? What do I do next? People are having really extreme experiences where it's like big change, big change. And what now? What now? So you can imagine the hardships some people are going through with these types of questions. And people who aren't in those types of experiences where we're facing big change are still feeling stuff like this inside and asking the questions, is this the right balance for my life? Is this truly the right balance for my life? Is this an honest life? Is this me living as truly honestly associated with the way I feel right now about myself, about the people? Am I living true to my soul? Am I living true to my my own self-expression? Or am I living based on inspirations from the timelines of my life, or even before this life, that have molded and shaped me into this person that I am, that now I'm looking in the mirror and I'm seeing the molding and the shaping, and I'm saying, who am I? And why am I? Why am I in these circumstances? Are these circumstances really a reflection of who I feel I am deep beneath this molding? And you can imagine it's creating vulnerability, it's creating emotion, it's creating confusion, it's creating a why every single day. You know, on a month to month, not really these days. I swear to God, the last few years especially, it's like every week I'm changing. Now it's every day I'm seeing new things. And it could be multiple times in the day, and it's like, gosh. And then you get a day to just relax. And it's like, but I have so much to do. I can't even enjoy relaxing because I have so much to do, because I'm trying to balance all these energy shifts and all these changes within myself with moving forward with just basic life stuff, you know, getting the job done each and every day. And sometimes we have to get the job done and we have to relax in between. And then when we have a day to relax, it's like, but I still have a lot of this job to get done. It's just my thing called life, you know? So anyway, I feel like I've said all I need to say about that. Just perspectives, just conversation about what I've been experiencing with the energy, not just right now, not just today. Last week, the week before that, I've been really interacting with Archangel Lucifer, which Archangel Lucifer is transforming into Jesus. And why would that be? The questions about what we see out there and what does that mean for what is inside here. And it's time to freaking stop judging what we're seeing and defining it as good or bad. The only way you can live your life, the proper way to live your life. Get rid of that junk. We got to start saying, well, I'm seeing this. And I got to ask myself, well, why am I seeing this? And why is that working for me right now? And now this is shifting into another emanation that is working with me now. And what is it about my vibrations that are attracting me to certain reflections of love in the universe? And I'm saying reflections of love because, well, all that is out there is a reflection of love. Because whether you're going through chaos, you're going through a rebirth in the reflection of love. And it's the hardship that brings out the best in our souls. So whether it's chaos or whether it's pure harmony, it's all love. Everything is all love. Weeds are love. Flowers are love. Disgusting cockroaches are love. Dealing with a cockroach-infested house, unfortunately, is also love. And it's also a reflection of our soul and our deeper essence. And why this is happening in our life is a reflection of us. Believe it or not, it's a reflection of us. So we have to ask ourselves why. And so for me, I've also had deeper contemplations about Archangel Lucifer and the Christ consciousness, Jesus. And I've been asking questions about this story, the Bible story of the Garden of Eden. And I love stories. And people can say, well, that's not the real history. That's not the truth. Stories are freaking the truth because they help us grasp ourselves through the story itself. Anybody who loves to read will find that certain aspects of characters, they can't stand those characters. And it's like, those are the same types of people they can't stand out there either. And they're the same types of people that they need to learn how to find something within themselves in order to be an acceptance of people that are, you know, people that are judgmental, people that are selfish, people that are so many things that we don't like that in them. And then they push it upon us, you know. But what about people who don't want to change? And those of us who are constantly working on ourselves are pushing this emanation and saying, you got to keep up. If you can't keep up, there's something. So there's like, get away from me, you change people. Just let me be a sack of potatoes, and that's all I want to be. So like, we all rub each other in different ways, you know. But we got to appreciate the characters of the story. And the characters of the story is everybody. It's you, it's me, it's the whole world. It's Adam, it's Eve, it's Lucifer, it's Jesus, it's Raphael, it's everybody, are all the characters of the story that create this great story called today. the life of a human being. You know, the story of the life of myself, you know, here. Anyway, thinking about, you know, if you eat the fruit off of the tree, you know, the tree of knowledge, which I like to call it the tree of wisdom, because knowledge is only going to get you so far. Knowledge is kind of the logic. And if they're eating the fruit off the tree of knowledge, no wonder we become so obsessed with logic and one and only answer. Everybody wants the one and only answer. There's no such thing as a one and only answer. We live in a freaking infinite universe. Look at the painting on the wall. Does that painting mean only one thing? Or does that painting mean 8 billion things? You get every single person on this planet to look at that painting, they'll see something different. You know, they'll see something within themselves projected onto the painting. So there's not one and only answer. There just isn't. So we go through, you eat the fruit off the tree of knowledge, you know, Eve, bad Eve, terrible Eve, terrible rotten Eve ruined mankind's life. Mankind, you know, here we go again with female, male genders, right? You know, she did it to men. She did it to men and to women. She screwed this whole thing up. It's her fault, you know. And it says she eats the fruit off of the tree of knowledge so we can become more logically grounded, because we need to have obsessions with logic and science in order to understand a creative infinite universe where there's no logic in it at times. Zero logic in it at times. But there has to be logic. We're always trying to find logic in everything, you know. There's no logic sometimes in things because there's many different answers to the same question. Anyway. So if you want to explore this, in a way, she created the separation. She, female energy, created the separation, the ultimate sin. You know, female energy created the ultimate sin. Separated all of us from God, from source, from love. But there's something to this, because Archangel Lucifer, the fallen angel, you know, don't talk to that guy. But he's also a reflection of every single one of the characters in the story. Everybody. He's a reflection of Eve, Adam. He's a reflection of God. He's a reflection of me. He's a reflection of you. He's a reflection of all of us, just like Jesus. We're all fallen angels. We all chose the pathway to separate from source in our own divine ways, in order to discover the love within ourselves. And you can only discover the love within yourself if you become the ultimate if you experience the ultimate separation from love. So now we're on the pathway of Archangel Lucifer, which is bringing us into the pathway of Christ consciousness. So you eat the apple, you take Lucifer's advice, you actually become not knowledgeable, but wise. So Eve did us all a favor. Thank you, Eve, for your choices to help us all learn. We've got some noise coming up, so I'm gonna stop the video and I'm gonna come right back. Okay, I'm back. Tractor noise is over. But like I was saying, you know, gender identities, male and female, this is deep stuff. This is deep contemplating stuff, and I find it fascinating as well. So we're talking about biblical reflections of the human race today. And are these biblical reflections? I think there's some accuracy to this. But what is it about the female as the destroyer, the male then, and the world, basically? And the tree of knowledge versus what is truly taking place here is a cycle of growth and development towards wisdom. Because wisdom is not only its perspective, which can be knowledgeable, but also it's emotional, it's memorable, it's deep, it's spiritual. It's so many elements involved with wisdom. And knowledge is just a facet of wisdom. And the whole journey of Archangel Lucifer, it's the fallen angel, the most evil emanation in the universe. We are a reflection of Archangel Lucifer, and in some ways we are an evil emanation in the universe. If you look at the human race and some of the things we're capable of doing, It's astonishing. You don't see animals doing that to each other, but you see human beings doing that to each other. Is it Lucifer that's manipulating us, or is it the Lucifer within us that is manipulating ourselves? Is it our own ego, our own fear, our own greeds, our own selfishness, our own whatevers that we're getting so wrapped up in those emotions? Because being human is an emotional thing. And sometimes we don't know how to balance those emotions, and so we get wrapped up in them, and we become the fear that nobody else wants to deal with. Nobody wants to go there. But yet we get roped into other people's fears, other people's personal power to control the human race, their manipulations. We can become manipulated by each other. It's a big old smorgasbord, right? Well, I think we can all agree that there is a shift in the energy. There's a shift in the energy, and it's becoming warmer, and it's opening those doorways, and it's saying, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. And we're saying, well, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And in the process, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, you know. But we're getting there. And every day we get closer and closer to a more beautiful planet, a more beautiful humanity, where we're encouraged to be ourselves and to be loved for who we are. A misunderstanding doesn't exist because we're all a reflection of the greater understanding. As long as we're truly honest with ourselves and truly honest with the way we're expressing what we're experiencing inside, or we can also manipulate what we think that we are feeling. Feels like this when really we're afraid of something else inside of ourselves. And so we're putting a band-aid on what we're afraid of by just saying, well, it feels like this, instead of saying, well, actually, beneath the surface of what it feels like, I really just don't want to change, or I really just don't, you know, my deeper soul essence has been asking me to do this, and I just haven't wanted to. So instead, I'm manipulating other people to work in my favor so I don't have to change. I mean, there's so many different dynamic ways that we're all living lives, and we're all living it together. But it's a beautiful thing. Remember, it's always a beautiful thing. No matter what is out there, whether it's extreme chaos or extreme love, it's all love. It's all love. And everything that we're going through right now, whether you're embracing some extraordinary essence of freedom and none of this calamity is in your realm, then that is freaking awesome. and then all the while there's parts of the collective where we feel like, oh my God, the clench, because we're working through what creates true freedom. And we're having to clear stuff out within ourselves, and it's soul related, or it could be life related too. But we're all on the pathway of ascension. We're all on the pathway of ascension, and it's all beautiful. It's all beautiful. You know, I think I'm going to make this just a video in its own right, and when the time is right, I'll channel Archangel Raphael. I think I've said all I need to say for this message, and yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I hope this is inspiring for you. I hope that it gives you something to think about. I love thinking about things. I love contemplating the deeper meaning, especially of stories and the people in stories, and how those people in the stories make me feel stronger, or make me feel weaker, or make me feel fearful, or whatever it might be, because it's the people in the stories, it's all the people of the world that are truly helping us to find ourself, and helping God then too to find God's self, because we too are God. We too are God, and we are part of God's own self-discovery, which is quite cool. It's very cool. We're gods and goddesses, and God and goddess as one, okay? Archangel Raphael, the male and the female as one. And the human race, transgenders, sexual interests of all kinds, human race as one beautiful, diverse reflection of God, of love, of goddess, of gods, of love, of everything, you know? Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I want to thank you all for watching, and if any of you are interested in exploring a psychic session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all again, and I wish you all a wonderful day.